Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today joins at Huddersfield Golf Club, where we've had to cancel a 9-hole playing vlog due to the weather, but I've come out on the course and I've took the opportunity to come and play a few holes while I've got a dry patch and really knuckle down and decide on what putter I'm going to play with. You might know I bought a Scotty Cameron just a few weeks back. It was a little bit of I was struggling with a Seemore and I fancied trying something new, and I've not really sort of enjoyed playing with it so much. You know, I don't feel like I'm any better. I'm not holding any more putts than I were with a Seemore, but I've been reluctant to sort of switch back into another putt because I've been playing that much golf, and you know, sometimes when you build up the feel with things, you just stick with it because you've got the feel and there's no chance to change mid-season. But now I've got this break where I'm not going to be playing for about 5-6 days. I thought, what a chance to try some of my old gamers. You might remember these if you've watched the channel a while. And what we're going to do, for the first time ever, I'm going to play off the red tees at Huddersfield Golf Club, because we've all had that thought, haven't we, of what could I shoot off the, I'm not going to say it, it's now red tees. So we're going to play 3, 4, possibly 5 holes, depending on how much we can get in for the weather. We're going to decide on what putt I'm going to game this season, but also we're going to see what I can shoot and just have a little bit of a catch up. Yeah. So at 258 yards, first time I've ever played off the red tees here at Huddersfield Golf Club. I've got to have a go with driver, haven't I? I'd be silly not to, because this is one we could probably get to if we hit a good drive. So I'm going to go up that left hand side, try and avoid them bunkers. Oh, it's a good strike. I'm just going to miss it left edge. I'm going to have a chip on. So 258 yards uphill, I'm only just past the pin. It just shows we don't always hit it as far as we think we do. It's going to move a little bit left to right. One thing I've been doing with chipping is, and it's really helping with strike, it's giving me that confidence to really get down into the surface and brush the surfaces, standing the toe into the floor and getting the heel off the ground. It really does sort of take away that bounce. Sipping. It's coming in a little bit short. Big decision now, what putter are we going to use? So we're going to start off with a Seemore. You'll remember this putter. I had it fitted last year. I'll put some close-ups in of that one. I would say this is the best putter I've had in recent times. And I went through probably a 2-month period of just not performing well with it. And it just brought me to sort of think, well, shall I change? You know, have a little bit of a change, try and get some confidence. So I bought the Scotty Cameron, but it didn't work. So we've got probably about a 12-footer for birdie on our opening hole. Break. Oh, left it a little bit short. Tap in par. So the reason I bought this putter was the simplicity of the technique. I was wanting something that were easy to repeat, a system that were easy to repeat, and with this you just simply tuck your elbows in, open your stance and drop the putter into the middle of your stance. And then from there you need to block out. It's like got a rifle scope system, which I'll show you, and 2 lines. You block out the red marker. You should see both the white lines, and it just reassures you that your club face is square, because many a times I used to get on the green and I used to think, is my club face a little bit closed? Am I pulling the ball because the club face closed? And that really took out that feeling of making sure that the putter were nice and square. Anyway, because the next putter I'm going to use is probably the sexiest putter I have ever had in my life. And from an aesthetic point of view, it's my favourite ever putter. So we've got par 5, 488 yards downhill, downwind. If I don't birdie this, then I should be wearing a skirt, because this is as easy as this hole is going to get. Oh, that's all right. Well, I'm saying it's all right, but because we're quite far forward, It might get a bit closer to them trees than I normally would. We'll see when we get down there. So we found the ball. It's not ideal. It has bounced into trees. It'd have been a great shot off at whites. I think that's the problem with the forward tees. You've got to remember it does bring a little bit more trouble into play. So it's not, sometimes I think these, ladies have got it easy, but it can actually be detrimental off the tee if you don't choose the right club selection. 150 yards downhill. Oh, that's come out great if it's got the legs. It's running down there. I think we're just going to make front at green. It's a detour conversion. I love the Trillium insert. I used to have a Trillium, a TEI free with this sort of neck on it, and I sold it. I was stupid, and to be fair, they've gone that much up in value. I just can't afford one. So I found this about 5 years ago. It were a Detour Newport 2.5, so the neck that I love, and they did put a Trillium insert in, so it does play like a TL or TEI free, but obviously we're on a budget. I paid $250, and even these now have gone up in value, and they're fetching around about £500. Steady, steady, steady! Oh, I thought I got it for a minute. So this was the sort of putt that I lost a little bit of confidence with the blade, and I felt like I needed a bit more of a balanced putter, a bit more to look at. Because when I look down at this now, it does look very simple. There's not a lot there. So I always try to just look at that leading edge and concentrate on striking through the ball with that nice and square point at my target line. Just inside edge. Well, we're in the red, we're 1 under. This is such a different hole from this tee. I actually like it. Sometimes I like a par 3 that feels like a par 3, and you can hit sort of an 8 or a 9 or a 7 iron. You're not hitting such a long iron. Although that pin position from this tee is so tricky. I think I'm going to have to probably aim at that pin and let the wind just blow it into the middle of the green, because we've got a strong wind off the left. That's the plan anyway. 149 yards. I've got 9 iron. A little bit down and off the left. Oh, that's good. That's actually holding the wind. Look at that, Jacob. So the final putter in my collection is a Scotty Cameron Golo. It's a Super Select series. I've always loved this Golo style head. The simplicity of the sort of neck here, and then, a little bit of it's a blade here, but it's got a little bit of a nice mallet design at the back. I've always loved that. To be fair, I've not putted bad with it at all, but didn't think it was any better than the Seemore. And the Seemore, maybe I should have just spent a little bit more time with it rather than sort of rushing into a new putter. But having just tried them first two, I'm going to be honest with you, you kind of sometimes have a putter and you get these old memories back of your older putters, and you think about all the good times with all the putters, you forget about the bad times. And I know I've only had a couple of putts with them both, but it makes you realise that it's not the putter, is it? It's the person at the end of the stick, because they're no better than what this has been doing. So, right, let's have a go with this one for birdie. I've overrun that one a little bit. I think switching between putters is probably not helping with the weight, but I tell you what, I really do like the look. Because I've put them all down now behind the ball. I think it just shows the reasons why I bought this, because on this longer putt there, we're having that big line on it. It really did give me a bit more focus, and it just reminded me why I did actually buy this putter. And I think it's going to be the same here, because I've got that shorter putt again, which I had on the last one. Didn't really have any help at all with that other putter. I was kind of just relying on focusing on the club face, whereas with this one, I feel like I can sort of probably look at the ball, and as the putter's moving, I can still see the line. I'm not having to take my eyes off the ball so much. Yeah, I'm definitely studier over this, like with a lot more to look at and feeling more comfortable. I've definitely struck that more solid. I felt more aggressive with the putt rather than tentative. Do you know what? I think if anything, this video is going to mean that I stick with this putter. When I've come out thinking which of my older putters am I going to game. And I think after this, after just getting them all out and trying them on course, putting them in real circumstances, it's already helping me make that decision. Right, we're 1 under. We're going to play 2 more holes. Let's see if we can get to 3 under. 5 stroke 1, 424 yards. You might be wondering why is it stroke 1? It's uphill. Tee shot, a little bit tricky. We've got some bunkers to carry, which shouldn't be a problem today. That is A1. You probably noticed if you golf pervs as well, we've got a new shaft in the driver. It's a Hazardous RDX Smoke Extra Stiff, but only 60 gram. I think it just helps me sort of control the club a little bit more with that 10 grams less weight. So this is the farthest I've ever been up here, probably 20 yards past the bunker, but I'm just laughing to myself. I'm 195 yards out. I played with Brian Roberts round here quite a few months back, probably last year actually, and he were a good 20 yards past this, and he was off the white tees as well. Oh. Oh, it's a good strike, but I think it's going to be left. I've still got that odd loose one in the bag. It's not too, but it's not a disaster, but I should be knocking it on from there. So this one's going to probably move a little bit left when it lands. It's left to right, sorry. I'm playing it inside front hill, so I want to get a little bit of height. Oh! Fin. So nothing like a fin shot to bring you back down to reality, is there? Oh God, I shouldn't have said oh. I'm laughing now. What a plonker. Just when you start to think this game's easy, it always bites you in the arse, doesn't it? Right, we're grafting for a 5 now from a perfect position. Roll out, roll out. Come on. Realised I brought the wrong putter. This is not the one I want for a little slidey right to left. 4-footer. What am I going to do with this putter now? I can't sell it. I just can't sell it. I think it's one of them I'm going to have to just keep for life, because you just never know, do you, when you're going to go back to an old putter. But I just don't fancy it from here like the other one. I'm a bit like, I'm already nervous. There's no point in me putting this one back in bag. Took far too long on that, didn't I? I think I just felt a bit nervous with that. So 289 yard par 4. We've got these cross bunkers here. This is his final chance to make a birdie and get to 2 under par. Cross bunkers, bang on 200 yards. So are we laying up or are we going over it? We're definitely not laying up. If we're coming out onto red tees, we're going to try and play attack and at least try and make a birdie to finish. So I'm going to hit 3 wood for a little bit of extra precision, but enough distance to carry these bunkers. This is carrying sort of around about 225. I'm going to really let this go because I'm confident with 3 wood. I've actually pushed you a little bit right, so I'm not going to carry the bunkers. I'm actually going to miss them, because the further right you go, the longer it is to get to the bunkers. I think to get to that last bunker on the right, it's probably about 250. So I don't know how I've managed it, but I've had a little bit of luck, and I finished just here. It's actually in its indentation, 72 mark. 72 yards, sorry. That's good. I like that, just underneath the pin. For the final hole, I'm going to just use the Seemore once more, just to sort of, so I've got no question marks in my mind. Because I think for me, it's what I feel like when I put the putter down. You know, obviously I'm going to put some time into practicing my putting, but I need a putter that I feel very comfortable when I'm looking down. And this has never been that putter I felt that comfortable looking down, apart from I'm reassured that the club face is square, which I don't know why, but I probably have all more longer putts than I've ever rolled with this one, so let's give it a go. Left it short. Well, a modest 1 under par. Not the most flattering golf, but I think my mind's made up. We'll do it. So there we are, we've finished 1 under par through 5 holes off the red tees. Do you know what? You've still got to be able to play golf. There's no point in thinking that these red tees, and well, let's say it, the ladies have got it easy, because they haven't. You've still got to be able to play good golf to get round. You know, in fact, being my first time off reds, I probably didn't play as conservative as I should, and I probably overhit the driver. I don't know if that's how the girls play it, or whether they sort of think the way around a little bit better than I did. But as I say, it weren't as easy as I thought. And what it did do, though, it helped me come to a conclusion that, you know, it is me, not the putter, and I am going to stick with a go low 6. I have confirmed in my mind now, by getting him on the course and playing him in a game situation, that this is the one that I feel most comfortable with over the ball for now anyway. You know what I'm like. So I'm going to persist with this one a little bit more. It's definitely not hindering me. I think if anything's hindering me, it's probably just myself. But I think now I've confirmed this is the right putter, it's going to help me really focus on, you know, using this one and putting all my time into practicing with this. Now, just on a final point, if you've enjoyed today's video and you're enjoying these playing vlogs, I am going to be coming out with Dan, who's, last time we saw him on the channel, he was off 10 handicap. He's now off 1. This is about 12 months later. We're going to be coming out to see if we can break the course record on what we call our Brook course. It's the blue tee course, which we've implemented to help juniors and new golfers get into playing golf. So to bridge that gap between driving range and course. And the course record at the minute stands at 3 over par, shot by Edward Fernley, one of our juniors, who he has moved up to sort of yellow tees now, but on the odd occasion he comes back and he plays on the blues with the rest of the juniors, and we're going to try and beat his score. Me and Dan 1 handicap, me scratch golfer. Now this could be embarrassing. If we don't beat his score, this could be very embarrassing. We're going to get Edward to come round with us to verify the course record, obviously. You know, so if we do beat it, then he knows, you know, obviously we've done it, you know, fair and square. We know sort of, you know, no temporary greens, or, you know, what you might want to say. So that should be quite a fun video. How low can we go off a shortened Brook tee course? I'm not quite sure the yardage off the top of my head, but it should be a fun video. And if you're enjoying these playing vlogs, there's going to be a lot more of these, because this is what I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying my golf again. I want to be out on the golf course. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you again in a few days' time. Bye.